Luna Moth Mystic here with another video, today talking about pendulums. What are pendulums? Pendulums are a divination tool, usually a stone or a piece of wood or a piece of metal that are hanging from a chain that come to a point. There's many different stones that are used for pendulums. This one is an amethyst. This one is also an amethyst of a slightly different type of chevron. This is crystal quartz. This is actually a chakra stone pendulum, so it has 7 different stones in it pressed together. And this is a crystal quartz with a clear crystal quartz point. As you can see, they're in different shapes here. We've got a round one here with the amethyst stone, a chevron one, which is also what the chakra one is, a Merkaba shape, and a spinning pointed pendulum. You can also use string or chains, and some chains will have stones on them as well, and a lot of times it's chakra stones. These are used for healing, inner growth, reflection, and meditation. So divination is seeking unknown knowledge, usually from a supernatural source. One word that people use when they are talking about pendulum is dowsing. And dowsing is seeking out energies that are invisible, and it can also help locate blocks and help balance chakras by picking up vibrations that you might not be able to pick up otherwise. So it's a good idea to cleanse your stone first, and you can do that in a full moon. You can do that with salt. You can use that with sage and smudging. But basically what you're going to start with, and I also have a grid here, a pendulum grid, but you don't have to use a grid. What you do is you set your intention first, and a lot of people will ask a question. So they'll have a question, usually it needs to be a yes or no question, because the stone can only swing so many different ways. So you set your question, and you could use a grid here, or you can use a piece of paper, or you can simply tell it which direction will be what answer. So you could say, if it spins away from you, that's no. If it spins towards you, that's yes, or side to side is maybe, or something of that type. But you tell it what you're assigning the directions to be. And then you hold it in your hand with the chain hanging down and kind of the chain in the palm of your hand. You can hold it up closer, you can hold it up longer. With the chakra stones, usually you hang it so that the chakra stones are in your hand. This one is kind of would make that a little shorter, but you can also have it hanging down. It's whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you feel will be most effective. So you prepare your question, you repeat it in your mind, and you set your intention asking for clarification and answers. The other thing, so then you can use this grid here, and you put the grid down, you swing this above it, hold it as still as you possibly can, ask your questions, and then really concentrate on your questions and see where it swings. And it might swing to yes, it might swing to no, it might ask you to rephrase the question to make it simpler, or it could just say maybe and not answer at all. Another thing it's really good for is meditation. So you can use this if you have a crystal grid or a pattern or anything like this. You can take your stone and you can try to trace the pattern of the crystal grid. Usually it's something that's a flowing pattern, like this is a flower of life. And this one's a little complicated to try to trace, so you might want to try something a little bit easier. But the movement of spinning the stone just can be very relaxing. You know, you could say, I'm going to spin this in a square, and really meditate while you're doing this. Or I'm going to spin this in a circle. And just kind of let your mind go and focus on moving it in those shapes that you are thinking of. So, let's see. One thing that people use the chakra ones for too is you can go over someone's body, and that's how you search for blockages. So it might, you ask it to spin or land a certain way over someone's body. And the other thing you can use it for is connecting points on crystal grids. So it can be really important for a lot of different kind of divination work and also just general meditation if you don't have that intention in mind. And like I said, there's lots of different shapes, there's lots of different stones. Stones will carry their own meanings and could be focused for one thing, but you don't have to even use a stone. It can be a necklace that comes to a point. As long as it's on a straight chain and has a point and you ask for the intention. A lot of it is about intention. So I hope you learned a lot today about pendulums. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Otherwise, have a great day.